I'm Ethan, 38 years old, a construction engineer who'd built a solid life with my wife, Sarah, over 12 years of marriage. We had a cozy home in the suburbs, a savings account for our dream vacation to Hawaii, and plans for starting a family soon. I thought we were unbreakable, the kind of couple that others envied. But life has a way of testing you when you least expect it, and sometimes the real accident isn't the one that lands you in the hospital. 6 months ago, I was on my way home from a job site when a drunk driver slammed into my car. I woke up in the ICU with broken ribs, a shattered leg, and doctors telling me I'd be lucky to walk again without a limp. The recovery was set for at least 6 months physical therapy, pain meds, the whole ordeal. Sarah was there in the beginning, her eyes red from crying, holding my hand as I lay there hooked to machines. "We'll get through this together, Ethan," she whispered, her voice trembling. I clung to those words like a lifeline. But as the weeks turned into months, things changed. Sarah's visits grew shorter. She'd come in with a forced smile, chat about work for a few minutes, then glance at her phone and say she had to go back to the office. "David needs me for this big project," she'd explain, mentioning her boss more often than usual. David was the CEO of her marketing firm, a smooth-talking guy in his 40s who'd always seemed a bit too friendly at company parties. I pushed the doubts aside after all. She was supporting us while I was out of work. Our savings were dwindling, and her job was our only income. One afternoon, as I lay in my hospital bed scrolling through my phone to pass the time, a nurse named Lisa came in to check my vitals. She was chatty, the kind who tried to lift your spirits. "Your wife seems busy lately," she said casually. "I saw her in the parking lot the other day, with a tall guy looked like they were arguing or something." My heart skipped a beat. Arguing? With who? Lisa didn't know more, but her words planted a seed of suspicion that grew like weeds in my mind. That evening, I called my old friend Mike, who worked at Sarah's company as an IT guy. We'd been buddies since college, and he always had my back. "Mike, this might sound crazy," I said, my voice low, "but is something going on with Sarah and David?" There was a long pause on the other end. Then Mike sighed. "Ethan, I didn't want to tell you while you're recovering, but yeah, they've been close for months. Late nights at the office, whispers in the hallways. I even overheard her on the phone saying she's done waiting." "I'm sorry, man." The room spun. I fought for my life in this bed, and she was off with her boss. The pain in my leg was nothing compared to the ache in my chest. I hung up, staring at the ceiling, tears burning my eyes. How could she? We'd been through so much my late nights at work to build our savings, her support during my promotions. Was it all a lie? But I didn't confront her. Not yet. I was too weak, too trapped. Instead, I channeled the anger into a plan. If she thought I was done, she was wrong. I started small. From my hospital bed, I accessed our joint bank app, something Sarah probably forgot I could do. Sure enough, withdrawals. $5,000 here, $10,000 there, labeled as miscellaneous expenses. Then I checked our home security camera feed via my phone. There she was, David in our living room, laughing, his arm around her. They were packing boxes. Packing? Were they planning to leave me here and start over? I needed proof. I hired a private investigator, Tom, using a small emergency fund I'd kept separate in my name, $15,000 Sarah didn't know about. Tom was discreet, a former cop with a knack for digging dirt. "Give me 2 weeks," he said. Over the next days, he tailed Sarah and David. The reports came in bits. Photos of them at a romantic dinner, her hand on his knee, emails from David's work account promising her a senior position if she committed fully, even a receipt for a beach house rental in Florida, paid with company credit, clearly embezzlement. But the real bombshell came in week 3. Tom uncovered that David was married to Emily, a high-powered lawyer, and they had 2 kids. Sarah wasn't his first affair. There were 2 others in the past 5 years, both ending with payoffs from company funds. David had been siphoning money, $200,000 over 3 years to cover his tracks. And Sarah? She was in on it, helping him fake expense reports for client entertainment. If this got out, it wasn't just a divorce, it was jail time for fraud. By month 4, I was up on crutches, pushing through therapy with a fire I hadn't felt before. The doctors called it a miracle recovery. I called it revenge fuel. I contacted Emily anonymously via a burner email, attaching a few photos and a note. Your husband is cheating with my wife. He's using your money to fund it. Let's meet. She responded within hours. We met at a park bench, me on crutches, her in a sharp suit, eyes cold as steel. Show me everything, she said. Over coffee, I laid out the evidence. Emily wasn't shocked. She'd suspected for years. David thinks he's untouchable, she said, but I have access to his emails and the company's audit logs. Let's bury them. We formed an alliance. Emily gathered internal documents proving the embezzlement, while I focused on our personal assets. I had my lawyer file for divorce quietly, citing adultery, and freeze our joint accounts. Sarah didn't notice at first. She was too busy with David. Month 5 brought the turning point. Tom found a hidden email chain where Sarah admitted she never wanted kids with me, that David was her real future. It stung, but it was the ammunition I needed. I also learned David had promised Sarah half his shares if she helped him oust a board member, corporate sabotage on top of everything. The day I was discharged, I didn't tell Sarah. I went straight to Emily's office. We finalized the plan. That evening, Sarah came home to an empty house, my clothes gone, the safe emptied of important documents. She called me in panic. Ethan, where are you? We need to talk. I ignored it. The next day at David's company board meeting, Emily dropped the bomb. She presented the evidence: affairs, embezzlement, forged reports. Sarah was there as his assistant. I walked in unannounced, crutches under my arm, and slid my divorce papers across the table to Sarah. You thought I'd never recover, I said calmly. You were wrong. The board fired David on the spot. Sarah lost her job too. The police were called for the fraud charges. Emily filed for divorce, taking the house, cars, and custody. David ended up in a cheap apartment, facing trial. Sarah? She begged for forgiveness in court, but I had the emails proving her involvement. She got nothing in the divorce, no house, no savings, just debt from legal fees. Last I heard, she was living with her parents, working retail. Today, I'm fully recovered, running my own engineering firm. I even took that dream vacation to Hawaii alone, but free. Betrayal hurts, but revenge, it heals.